my previous video, I shared with you how I started working from home and what led me to that decision. And in this video, I am going to talk about how I dealt with unemployment after I resigned from my BPO job. So if you're interested, then keep on watching. Before we start, if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to know more about career, BPO tips, and work-life balance, please consider subscribing. And if you haven't watched the previous video, I will link it up there so you can check it out after this video. So let's talk about how I dealt with unemployment when I resigned from my corporate job. I know it must be a very big question for you because it is very difficult to start another job or to live your life when you have not really saved anything from your previous job. And that's exactly what happened to me. I'm not going to deny it. I haven't really saved a lot, especially when it comes to emergency fund, my life insurance, and my HMO or health insurance were actually dependent on the jobs that I had previously. So when I resigned from my job, my insurance benefits also went down with it. So I did not have any insurance policies anymore. I did not have an emergency fund or a savings fund or anything that would actually help me last longer without an actual job or without earning anything. So how did I deal with it? The first thing is really planning. You can never go wrong with a proper plan. But as Murphy says, if it can go wrong, then it will. But at least you already have planned for it. You have plan A, B, C, or up to Z. So my concern that time was that I did not have enough funds to last me for a long period of time. I mean, even if I wanted to not work for a month or two, I still had to because I had to earn money for myself and for the family. I mean, bills are always there. What I did was I tendered my resignation 30 days before the actual resignation date. Obviously, if you are a regular employee in your company, you would most likely be required to tender 30 days and not just an immediate resignation. So along with that plan is also having to prepare mentally and financially. Mentally, because when you don't have a job, there are a lot of things that could go wrong, especially when you don't pay the bills or when you don't have food on your table and you're not earning money during that time that you are unemployed. And it can lead to depression. It can lead to arguments within the family. It can lead you to be not motivated with doing anything, or it can just make you plain lazy. Also, financially, very important, because how do you sustain yourself financially? And also your family if you're not earning. So what I did was I, of course, kept my last salary and had to plan it carefully so that it would last us for a few days during the time that I did not have a job. Also, take note that we were in a single income household that time, meaning I was the only one earning that time. What I did was I took a salary loan, 2 salary loans actually, one in SSS and second is Pag-ibig. So I used those salary loans to fund the time that I would not have a job or I'd be unemployed. And those loans really helped a lot. And just come to think of it, you contributed to those government loans, so why not take advantage of them? I was contributing for 7 years, so I guess it was the right time for me to take advantage of those loans. I planned to be unemployed for 1 month. That was the only time frame that I gave myself. So it's also important to give yourself a time frame, because saying that I will not work as long as I want to does not really work at all, especially when you have no one else to support you. If you're a rich kid and if you have financial support here and there, then by all means, you can say that. But in my case, I had to really give a time frame to myself, and I said, I will be unemployed for 1 month only. It can't be more than that. So there, it has to be properly planned, and you have to have a time frame for yourself. And my second tip would be to strike while the iron is hot. So with that time frame that I gave myself of 1 month or 30 days, it doesn't just mean that I slacked or I just laid on my bed for the entire month or something like that. What I did was, while I was unemployed, I already created a profile at onlinejobs.ph. That's where I got my job. And if you want to know more how to create a profile, to sign up and to get a job from that platform, comment below if you like, because I'm going to create a separate video about that as well. So when I created that profile, I just completed everything, all the necessary details, and then I let it sit. I did not even do anything. I was not actively applying for a job. Just in case someone will email me or someone will ask me to work for them, then at least I have that opportunity in mind. And I'm saying strike while the iron is hot because at least you're still fresh from the job. You still have this feeling of, you're still employed, and it still feels new to you to be not doing anything. So at least there's something you will do, which is to sign up for an online profile. Anywhere can have online jobs at PH or Upwork. There are several sites where you can do that online. And probably in a separate video, I will tell you why I only chose online jobs and not Upwork or other sites. Third is take your much needed break. That time, I informed my parents that I would resign from my job, and they were very open for us to live in their house for a while. I told them that I decided to not apply or just be unemployed for a month. So we went back home and we live at my parents' house. It also helped the expenses because we had to divide the expenses. I just paid for the internet that time because I decided to work from home, and we also just shared with the other expenses. So basically, it was also a strategy for us to be able to lessen our expenses, and my parents were okay with that. So if you have the same situation as mine, wherein you have the ability to go home to your parents' house, maybe to your province, to your hometown, then go ahead and do so. It's not only a much needed break for you, it can also be a time for you to bond with your family, your close friends, because of course you were working the entire time. I thought it would be a great season to just spend time with the family. It would also be a great time for you to contemplate on your decisions in life, figure things out, and think of the next steps that you want to do with your life in terms of your career, personal life, or anything like that. My fourth tip is to be open to other opportunities. I know that most of the time you have set a goal as to what kind of career you want, and I have also done the same. I'm a very goal-oriented person, and I always want to make sure that I reach my goal. Like in my case, my goal was of course to look for jobs online or to start working from home. And you know why, as I've mentioned in my previous video. But since my mother is working in the government and I have also already passed the civil service examination, it was an option for me to apply for a government job or government position. So even though my goal was to look for a work from home job, at least I have another plan. I was open to other opportunities. I mean, working for the government might not be easy. It's a very traditional job, so they say, but it wasn't that bad. You can still work for the government despite all the challenges that we have in our recent government, not to sound political or whatnot, but the point was, if there would be an opening for a government position that I was qualified for, I would definitely get that opportunity. But it's just that I was very, very grateful because even though I planned to be unemployed for 1 month, 2 weeks after my resignation date, I was already in my hometown. I already got 2 emails offering me a job. The first job was a content writing position, but after a few emails with the hiring person, or maybe probably the manager of that company, it did not feel good to me. You know when sometimes it feels like it's not really for you. You will really just feel it in your gut. So that first job did not push through. The second email I got was from a client in Canada. He was hiring for a content specialist position, but basically the scope of the job was writing, creating content, blogging, social media. And since I have a side hustle previously when I was still working in the call center, I was already blogging. In fact, I was blogging since I was in college, and it became my side hustle. So with that long-term experience that I had with blogging, I already had my website up, I had my blog. That was really one of the things that led me to that client. He asked me to submit 3 articles about anything that I like, and so I submitted 3 articles that were from my blog, and then without any other interview, any other things, any examinations, he hired me on the spot. He asked when I could start. I was really somehow in a panic mode because I did not expect to be hired right away, and it was just 2 weeks from my resignation date. What happened to my 1 month of unemployment and 1 month of rest? But who was I to decline or to refuse? It was already an opportunity. It was a job that I was hired for on the spot, and because there wasn't really any interviews of any sort, I felt pretty confident that my soon-to-be employer, or that client, was impressed with the way I wrote my articles, which he also told me. So I took the job. It turned out to be one of the best things that I have done, because until now I am still working for that client, and it's already been 3 years or more. So the bottom line is, you never really know. Just be open to other opportunities. And even though you had a time frame set for yourself, if that opportunity is good enough and you feel good about it, then go ahead and grab it. And my last tip, number 5, is to continue a hobby that you once did but you did not have time for when you worked previously in the corporate world, which was what I also did. I continued my blogging, writing on the website, and I even created this YouTube channel because I wanted to create a platform, continue training, to continue educating people. And 7 years worth of experience is such a huge amount of knowledge and experiences that might be put into waste if I do not share it with you, which is why we have this YouTube channel right now, because I still want to continue what I have started from the corporate world, but in a more creative way, which is creating a video and being more creative about the things that I say or I do online. Along with my online job, with my blog, my website, my YouTube channel, I was also able to create a side hustle to earn extra income aside from the job that I do for my client. I also have side gigs for social media. So there are a lot of things that you can do when you work from home. In fact, you're not just limited to one. You can have a lot of streams of income, which is far better than just having one. Obviously, as long as you can fit it in your schedule and your kind of lifestyle, I think it's really one of the best things that you can do in your life. So if you want to learn more about how to start working from home when you are a call center agent or a BPO agent, how you can put your skills into something that can be worth doing online or as a home-based professional, don't forget to subscribe. Working from home or online is not for everyone, but it can be when you have the right mindset. So on my next video, I'm going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of working from home so that I'll be able to give you an informed decision. I'll see you on my next video. Take care. Bye.